Yes. So we'll be starting the new things from today that each topic wise. Okay. This is the project which we have created. Okay. So before starting that, we need to follow some best practices while creating a recipes or some other things. Okay. So we'll see first what is the best practices we need to follow in the naming convention. Okay, so the project name should be in a such a way that it should replicate your complete project, the requirement of the project. Okay, how it will be means, for an example, it was the Salesforce to database loading or some finance invoices handling some other related stuff project means. So we need to go with like finance data. Salesforce will be Salesforce to DB. Okay, this is the project name which we need to create. Okay, the project structure will be, so the naming convention should be defined in such a way it should replicate your complete project scenario over there. Okay, what type of project is a finance based project, finance data handling. It will be loading from Salesforce to database. So we need to mention your project based on the particular handling thing. And then what is your source application అంటే ఎక్కడి నుంచి డేటా తీసుకుంటున్నారు and where we are loading the data, to where we are loading to data means what is the destination application. Okay, the source application and the destination application. Okay, then how we need to define the recipe name. Okay, what is the naming convention we need to follow for the recipe name? So the naming convention will be, recipe means if that particular flow, for that we need to start with recipe. REC will be the recipe. By naming itself, we need to see that it will be a recipe. And then we need to go with the project, recipe, finance project. And then what is the flow or the what is the requirement you are going to achieve in that particular recipe. Okay, in that particular flow from where you are reading the data, from where you are loading, from where you are retrieving that or receiving the data and where you are loading the data. Okay, for an example, I am reading from the Salesforce to DB itself, recipe itself. Okay, this is the recipe. And after that, what is that in your project, what is the integration number of this, whether it is the first recipe or second recipe or third recipe. Okay, the flow number also should be mentioned over there. Okay, like this we need to base down the we need to follow a particular naming convention for particular all the recipes. Okay, and then if it is a connection, okay, so it starts with con, connection will be the one. And what is that particular application name? Salesforce, or database means database, MySQL database in the sense MySQL database. Or and what is the credentials of where it is dev environment or test environment or prod environments. Okay, we need to define that environment name itself. Okay, so we need to mention if there is any add-on things if we want to add, we can able to add those data as well over here. Okay, based on your remembrance or showcasing the naming, we can able to add the further steps as well. Okay, so this is the naming convention we need to follow for creating a recipe projects and connection. Okay, so first we'll be starting with the triggers. Trigger, what is the trigger? And a particular recipe, I'm telling about the flow, right? What is the flow? Flow means nothing but, I for a reference I told that nothing but a flow chart which has starting point and the ending point. In the middle there will be a some steps, conditions, the things which we need to achieve. So in the same way, flow is nothing but in WorkAto it is a recipe. Recipe is a combination of trigger and followed by the actions. Okay, recipe is a combination of trigger and followed by the actions. Trigger is nothing but an initiation point, and action will be the things what we need to execute. Okay, the things what we need to execute. What are the execution things based on our requirements? We need to receive the data or we need to load the data. Loading is nothing but creating a data or creating a rows or creating a records in the destination application, that in that particular application. Okay, destination anna, target application anna, all other things are same itself. Terminology is same. Okay. So what is a recipe means? Recipe is a combination of trigger and followed by the actions. In a particular recipe, there is only one trigger step and multiple actions. Okay, so we'll explain you that. So first, what is a trigger? Trigger is nothing but an initiation for a particular thing. For an example, if you are in the night while sleeping, we'll make it an alarm. We'll put an alarm in the mobile and we'll wake up when the alarm rings in the morning. Okay, so when we are in the sleeping mode, that will be a statical thing for the whole night. So we are initiating or we are triggering at a particular instant when alarm rings. That's it, right? So alarm eppudu mogte, we are waking up at that moment. We are not waking up at before or after. So when alarm rings, we are making we are waking up from the sleep, because here alarm is an triggering initiation to wake up. Okay, in the same way, trigger is an initiation for the recipe to start the execution, to start the flow. Got it, right? Hope you got the point. What is an trigger? Any question about here? Over here? Hello?
No, Rajesh.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Got it, Rajesh.
And what are the actions? Actions is nothing but in the flow chart. I have shown you that in the flow chart we are able to make a some actions, or we can able to make a decision box as well. Decision box nothing but if conditions. If this field is this is present, stop or continue or check for another things, like that. So the steps which are available till the end point or the till the stop point, those are all our action blocks or action steps. Actions is nothing but what are the things we are going to achieve. Nothing but a configuration of applications. Okay, now we'll see what are the things by deep diving into building a recipe. Okay, first I'm creating a folder over here, nothing but triggers. Triggers. In WorkAto, we have three types of triggers. Okay, first trigger is scheduler, next is polling trigger, and next is real-time trigger. We have three types of triggers. Scheduler. Okay, I have started the recording.
Polling.
We have the yeah scheduler, polling, and the real-time triggers are available. So first we'll start from the schedulers. What is a scheduler? Scheduler, the naming itself defines it is a scheduler. Scheduler means schedule at preferred time, at some specific time. Scheduler is nothing but scheduled things. Alarm is scheduled at morning 7 a.m. or alarm is scheduled at 8 a.m. So it is at a specific time instant. We know that predefined time as well when it will rings. For one more thing, for naming convention, I'm just making a naming convention as a simpler way. I'm not following these standards which I have spoken. But in the real time implementation building, we need to follow these things. Okay. Don't forget that if even though I am making a simple naming convention like test names, simpler things, you should not follow that. We need to follow the naming convention itself. Okay.
Going forward, we are continue with the naming conventions, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
for every time, if I want to make it as a thing, it will takes more time. So that for a specific, I am explaining. I explained that the naming convention we need to follow like this. Okay. Okay. Scheduler recipe. Okay. So after clicking the start the location I have selected in the same triggers inside. This recipe is available in the triggers. So this is the open page or the edit page after, I mean, when you click on the start building a recipe. Okay, this is the recipe name available over on the top left, and we are able to see the exit page as well. So the which I have closed over here will be the Copilot. We are not using, it is not giving that much results currently. It is under process, still developing stage, but if you want, you can go through that as well. So here it is asking to start the pickup point. Okay, pickup point is nothing but which application I need to take as a trigger. Okay, what I told, currently we are dealing with scheduler trigger. So there is an application directly run on a scheduler. We can able to configure like this directly the scheduler, or we can able to go to the app section and we can able to search for scheduler. Okay, scheduler. So after selecting that particular application, there in the trigger, in the recipe itself, we were able to see only one trigger step and followed by the actions. So we can able to select n number of applications by clicking on plus button. Okay, by able to select n number of actions. I mean, there will be n number of steps under the actions, and trigger will be the only one step. Okay. Nothing but when we woke up from the alarm, the things what we did for whole day will be the action part. Yes, this is the scheduler. What is the trigger action? And what is the trigger means? It is the new recurring event. And the setup will be the configuration things. Scheduler means what I told. Scheduler is nothing but a predefined thing. Okay, it is the predefined thing. I mean, we are specifying a particular time frame when it need to trigger or when it needs to ring, when it needs to execute. Okay, so here in the scheduler we have different time units. Okay, there is only time units and time every, trigger every, not time, it trigger every. Okay, here if you select minutes means it will be the 5 minutes. So you can able to select 10 minutes, we can able to select 200 minutes, we can able to select whatever the time frame will be. Okay, so based on the time frame, what it is telling that these actions will be trigger for every 5 minutes. These actions will be executed for every 5 minutes. Okay, like that we have minutes, we have hours as well. Like for every 5 hours, I need to execute the steps actions, or for every 10 hours or for every 24 hours, I need to execute this particular action or the recipe. Okay. Next thing I have days. For how many days I need to execute the flow. This is trigger every 1 day or every 2 days or every third day. So when it will be, okay. And what is the time? So for every 2 days means if it was triggered today means after 2 days it will be triggered. When I need to trigger, at what time? So what time I need to trigger? For an example, at at 10 a.m. each day, every day, one means. When we select 5 days means every 5 days at 10 a.m. run the flow. Okay. Next thing is weeks. How many weeks for every how many weeks I need to trigger? Every 5 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 10 weeks. Okay. Every 52 weeks means 1 year. So what is the day of the week? The day of the week means Sunday, Monday. Which day I need to? So for every 2 weeks, which day I need to trigger? For an example, every Monday it should be triggered like that. So in WorkAto, the weekdays will start from Sunday, not from Monday. It will start from the Sunday. Remember that point. We'll be discussing it later. And so at when I need to trigger for every week, I mean every week on Monday at when I need to trigger. For example, 10 a.m. at every day. Okay. Next, after months. For how many months I need to execute? Every 2 months or every 3 months? When? So if an example, every month, in month, which day I need to run? So out of 30 days, 31 days, which day? Last day means nothing but by default end of the month. I mean, last day of the month. So every first, okay, we can able to select multiple options as well. No need to worry on that. So every 2 months on first at 10 a.m. I need to trigger this flow. Okay, these are all our scheduler based things. Okay, we'll be discussing custom scheduler a bit later. Okay, so for an example, I am selecting minutes. So and WorkAto supports only the minimum time is only 5 minutes. Okay, we need to trigger or we can execute only every 5 minutes only. We can, there is no option to schedule the flow or to schedule nothing but to execute the flow for every 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, and 1 minute. Okay, can able to see this that only the field can be tested to a minimum of 5 minutes. Okay, for an example, I need to go with every 1 minute I need to run the flow. So there is no option for that. So if you want to trigger whenever you want means we need to go with real time triggers. Okay, again there is, so every drawback of the I mean if a particular concept has a drawback, there will be a second methodology as well to overcome that particular restriction or the blocker page. Okay, so first we'll see, first is minutes, and for every 5 minutes this flow will be triggered, and we'll see what are the optional fields over here. Okay, so we can able to select the time zone as well. Okay, specific time zone based on our country regions. Okay, for an example, if I take Kolkata, we have Asian Kolkata.
Sorry, Rajesh. Okay, the trigger every. So you mentioned it. It must be 5 minutes. So
Yes.
6 minutes will it allow?
Yeah. Five.
Okay.
Beginning is the five. Beginning is the five. I can
Okay.
able to set 6, 7, 8. I can able to set 100 as well. But minimum is will start from five itself. From 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Cron
Minimum is the
expression
5 minutes.
రాయగలమా? Cron
ఏంటండి?
expression రాయగలమా?
Right, Sandy. That is the next scenario I thought of explaining. That will be
Okay.
done in the custom schedule.
So
Yeah,
will it
after
allow
come,
60?
will it allows
60.
60
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it will
allows.
allow 60 minutes. That's
Um,
what I'm telling. Minimum starting point is only from 5 minutes. From 5,
Oh,
6, 7, 9, 10, 20, 30, 60, 100, 200, and so on.
Yeah, Rajesh.
Okay.
So if I want to skip on holidays, right? Okay. So can we have to write in a custom schedule using script?
Yes, not any script. There is a simple command we need to, command means that is a cron expression there will be, right? So we need to write it in the cron expression. I'll be explaining after this the
Okay.
minutes things.
Yeah. That
Okay.
is one thing. And second thing, so I want to get this trigger maybe on success some different recipe. Okay. Or
I
fail
want
on
to,
the recipe.
I want to, I didn't get.
Uh, I want to run this recipe on success of a different recipe, or maybe success or failure of a different recipe.
That is some advanced concept. We can do it.
You can do
Okay.
it.
Yeah, it is possible. For an example, you are telling that if a particular flow has been recipe has been failed, I need to trigger this recipe.
Trigger recipe, or maybe if it
Uh,
is success, the previous it do this.
yeah. We can able to do that. That is completely an advanced concept. We will be discussing after 25 days, I think so.
Not advanced. It's a common
No,
scenario in any application.
yes, but in the list, it will be the based on the topics, it will be the
Okay.
something, but it
Okay.
cannot be start on a first day itself, right?
Yeah, got
It
it.
will
Okay,
be,
got it. Yeah.
yeah. Yes. I'll be covering all the things. If I didn't cover also, you can able to rise like this. We'll be discussing on that particular day. Particular day
Okay.
means when the concept is like, because we need to go by step, right? Because
Yes, got it. Yes.
the thing we are discussing on tomorrow should be linked with it today. It should be connecting the things. Then only
Yes.
we can able to remember the things.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
my mind.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So uh, the minimum time is only it will start from the 5. From 5 to
Yeah.
continues. From
Because it's a
end.
batch, right? Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't get. Okay. So minutes I have taken that, and also if you are in, for an example, you are in India, so this particular workspace will be linked with our IST time zone. I mean Asia Kolkata. So if you want to go with some other time zone, means we can able to select that time zone. Based on that time zone, it will be executed. Okay, the time zone may not be affected with this 5 minutes. It may be affected with go with the days and weeks. Okay,
And
for an
one more
example, if I
question.
select
So,
this, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So you are scheduling this recipe for every 5 minutes. So this
yes,
recipe will take, let's say, let's take about this will take around like 8 minutes or 9 minutes, right? So
okay,
as soon as it completes, immediately it triggers.
yes, it will be the next job will be automatically pickups.
Let's say it takes like 11 minutes. So then wait for like another 4 minutes, and then it will trigger for 15th minute. Or
The
is it
jobs
correct?
will be in the queue. The jobs will be in the queue. Once one job is executed successfully, next job is that. So that will comes under
No,
where we can
because
overcome
uh,
that as well. That is the parallel operations.
parallel
If you,
operation.
yeah, yeah, if there
Okay.
is like that situation we have, because we should not wait that in the queue. It should be executed parallelly.
Oh,
If one
okay.
job is executed, another job will be in the queue.
So how to
That
set
should,
up this parallelly here? Is any option here?
yeah, we have the options.
Okay.
Yeah. So in it may be different in the time. I mean, if you, when you select 5 minutes, every 5 minutes, there may be no change in the time zone. We cannot see the time zone difference. But when we go with the days, weeks, and months, where time zone plays a crucial
Yeah,
role over there.
that's got it.
And then we have another option of start after. So for an example, I need to trigger this scheduler for an example on tomorrow from Saturday. For an example, I need to start, I scheduled for an example, trigger every day, sorry, trigger every 1 hour. For
Got
an
it. Yes.
example, I take every 5 hours trigger the flow, and then but it should start from Saturday. But Saturday was a holiday, and there is a 2 week ops. I mean, 2 days will be off. No one is working on that particular day to start this flow. So what we'll mention is like start the flow from particular day, like from Saturday 8 a.m. From 8 a.m. it will start triggering the flow from Saturday 8 a.m. for every 5 hours. Nothing but it will, when I need to start after, means even though if you start the flow today, execute the flow, nothing but I'll show you how to start and all the things. When you start the flow, even though if you start today, it won't execute that. It won't
Yeah,
run the
got it.
flow. Why?
Got it.
Because we have scheduled it should start after this particular time frame. Okay, this is very important to make it start after. Once you uh, test the recipe, it will goes to disabled position. Okay, so we'll see all the things. So what I'm going through this is trigger for every 5 minutes I have taken. That's it. And next in the actions I'm taking in Workato, for an example, in the coding part, we have the print option. Okay, we have the print option. Print, what did that particular print option means? Whatever you write inside that print option, it will print the same content what you have written or we have mapped the thing in the console, in the terminal box. Correct. So in the same way, Workato has some print option. That print option name is logger. Okay. So what we want to see anything, okay, if we want to see anything, want to print anything from the previous steps, from the trigger or from the previous steps, we can able to see with with the help of logger. Okay, logger is nothing but a print option.
It's a for
Okay,
debugging purpose.
yeah, debugging purpose. Okay, and this is the edit panel and this is the configuration panel, like which has app, action, and then setup. Okay, and when I click on this particular box, there is some small pop-up is arising over here. So which I am minimizing it and I am maximizing it, and I was minimized right now. Okay, so when I maximum, this particular pop-up is known as data tree. The whole pop-up is known as data tree. Okay, and the step, this is a particular step 1, step 2. Right now I am in the step 2, and step 2 configuration, nothing but setup page configuration, where I can configure data from first step. This data is known as data pills. Data tree contains data pills. Okay, this is the output pills, I mean output fields from the first step. That fields is known as pills, data pills. I mean terminal terminology is data pills in the layman, and when we are building the flow we'll call it as a pills, data pills, pills. Okay, these are the output fields from the first step. We won't call it as a fields, we'll call it as a data pills. First step, data fields. And when we click on this particular field, it will be automatically mapped into this. You can able to drag and drop as well, or otherwise if you just click on that particular pill, data pill, it will be mapped to that particular step. Okay, in this particular box. Okay, and if you see each pill has here the output, I mean the output of this particular step format. It is not the that value, it will be like that field. I mean what I can say, the content. It may be scheduled day is the output is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that. Scheduled week is nothing but 5, 6, 7, like that. And month will be the February, and last job time. Nothing but job time means execution time. Okay, and if you see there is some logos as well beside every pill. Okay, it defines that the data type of that particular field, means that particular pill data type, which type of that is a string, a number, a integer, a float value, or a date time field, time field, or date field, whatever it will be. Okay, if it has calendar symbol and a time symbol, then this pill is date time field. It is a date time data type. If it has only ABC means it is a string type. Okay, if it has 1 to 3 means it is a integer. It is ABC means it is a string field. So it has a calendar and time means it is a date time. It has only calendar means it is a date. I mean the output of the data contains in this pill, in this field is only date. If it has only time means it has only time. Okay, it has both means it is a date. It is a combination of date and time data in that particular pill, in that particular field. Okay, so we no need to worry about that. Each particular step output has pills. That pills data type is defined beside that pill itself, beside that data pill itself. We don't want to suffer more on that. What is the data type of particular step output? Okay, we'll be getting from here itself. Okay, hope you are getting some clarity, right? Able to go with me, right? Able to understand my flow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, please ask me. You can able to ask as well at any time. There is no any restrictions for asking the questions. If I don't know also, I'll research and I'll let you know. But try to learn the things, try to understand. If you don't understand, try to raise the question. Okay.
Um,
So what
then here can we add a custom message like a schedule time? Okay, so just
Yeah,
for debugging
definitely.
purpose.
Hard coded value as I told, what this is a logger step. Whatever we need, we can write that will be printed in the output. Okay, that will
It's
see
a
that.
concatenation is a plus symbol.
Yes,
Yes.
concatenation is also possible. Yes.
Okay.
Concatenation is nothing but addition of two things, addition of two strings.
No, no. So
Okay.
is it plus or is it ampersand? Which one? Like
No,
a
plus,
pipe symbol?
plus,
Plus
plus,
only.
plus,
Okay.
plus.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is very clear.
Okay. So where we can able to, for an example, we'll print the scheduled time in the output and also scheduled day. So for an example, uh, I'll write time, whatever I write in over here that will see in the output. So this is the day. So I'm putting a colon as well, like that. So week, I'm able to see the week as well. Okay, so from the first step, I got the output like I got the pills like time, day, week, month, and all those stuff. Okay, I am saving the recipe over here. Okay, I am saved the recipe. In the saving, we have seen the test recipe and the refresh and exit.
Yeah, Rajesh, one
Okay,
thing. So this is schedule time and all. These are system fields, or like the above step is like extracting the data from SQL. Like you can also print SQL field one, field two, whatever the columns, everything, right?
sorry, SQL field means
Let's say the above step is extra, like run the SQL from the database, and
uh,
you want to
yes,
print
yes, you can able
the
to retrieve the columns and data, right? The same way.
okay.
The step,
So does
this
it
is the
print for every record?
yes, yes,
It will print every record. Let's say if it
yes,
pulls like 100 records, so it will the log message will
yes,
be
it
every record. It will print the record. Okay,
yes, yes.
got it.
So here we can able to receive the data from first step, whatever they exist. This
Mhm.
is the only pills which is provided by the first step. Okay,
Got
other
it.
than
Yes.
this, we cannot able to retrieve the data. The
Yeah. Yeah.
supported data pills will be from the first step is only these five. Okay, so I am just saved a recipe. How many times if we click the recipe, that many versions will be created. Okay, versions will be created. So and also the version is created when the changes detected in the flow. For an example, first time when I click, I just, but right now I have clicked 3 times, but it cannot create 3 versions because it doesn't find any changes. If I add another step, for an example, another logger over here, another logger, and I mapped this scheduled month, then if I save, next the version will be created. Okay, next another version will be created when I save. Okay, so refresh is nothing but just to refresh the inside the setup, nothing but any changes was happened. Okay, test recipe is nothing but the thing what you have built. When we want to test this execution, then we can click on test recipe. So I'm just clicking on test recipe. So it started executing. It is an one time execution. Okay, once it will start the execution from start point to end point, what are the steps we have configured? After that it will comes to the normal position, it will execute. Test recipe mode will be only one time execution from start point to end point. Okay, what is the start point? Trigger will be the start point and last step will be the end point. You can able to see end over here, the end symbol. Okay, so if I open second step, the logger will be the print option. We can able to see time. The time is 9:12 and day 5 and then week is Monday today. Okay, you can able to see that. And Workatos, this is a step, right? The step output of, yeah, I mean, in Workato, every step output is in JSON format. Output is in JSON format only. We'll see about what is a JSON, other things. We'll see it bit later. Okay, but what is the output step output of, I mean, what is the step output in Workata is by default is JSON format. What is the format? What is the step output format in Workata means it is the JSON format. Okay, in
Uh,
the third step I'm
Rajesh,
able
can
to
we
see.
not start the recipe with logger?
Can we?
No,
Can we not
I didn't
no.
start
get.
the? Let's say I want to
Can,
start with the log message. Okay, you're starting my recipe. Can
no,
we not do
trigger
that?
cannot be. Can be. Trigger cannot be a logger. There should be some initiation, right? I told trigger is an initiation. It should be some triggering point. Logger is nothing but a printer option, print option. You cannot set the logger as a trigger. There should be some the trigger by definition itself. It says that trigger is an initiation alarm. I told that one
Yeah, got
example, right? It should be some example.
it. Does
So
it
it should
needs
be
to
there.
be only sequential, not parallel? I want actions to be parallel.
Like
Like the log message, do you written two times, right? It's sequential, one, two. I want two and three to be executed parallelly.
that is another no, uh, the flow chart will be executed step by step, one after other, not at the parallel, right? In the flow chart, from start point to end point, after executing first step, then only it will comes to the second step. After executing the third step, it will comes to the second step, it will comes to the third step. After completing the third step, I mean data execution, and then it will comes to the fourth step only. We cannot execute
No,
second and third step parallelly.
you can do, right? Okay, so you have two sources. Okay, getting the
That
data
is
from two
different.
different.
That is different. That is again advanced concept. It is not combining on the day one. It is a simple thing. Today I'm
Mhm.
starting with basic things. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it
I'll
can be
be
done.
cover. Yeah, I'll be covering all the things. Just some patience that I'll be covering all the things. If you are definitely, if I didn't cover, if I didn't miss anything, there is a point you can able to raise. Okay. But all the things will be possible in Workato. Everything will be
Yes.
possible that
Uh,
you have we can able to load data into two different destination applications at once parallelly,
and read
not
also from the two multiple
every
sources kind of thing.
applications we
Yeah,
can able to.
yeah,
Yes,
that is a
we can
basic.
able
Yeah,
to. Basic means not on the first day, right? We
yeah,
cannot
I
able
got
to.
it.
We need
Yeah,
to say at least what is what, because every some freshers are there, some zero knowledge people also there. I mean they
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
any
yeah, I got
integration
it.
knowledge
Yes.
as well. That what.
Yeah,
So it's a basic thing, right? We need to start from the basic, from zero scratch.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So in the middle we have the test jobs. Test jobs means it will show the recent thing. Test job is, what is a test recipe means? Test recipe is nothing but execution of the flow only for once. One time execution is known as a test job. Okay. So when I exit from that, I'm able to see that over here. This is the page, recipe name and recipe folders. It is in batch project name and the folder name and the recipe. So here we have recipe, jobs, versions, test cases, and settings, and edit and start recipe. Okay. Clone is nothing but if you want to copy the whole recipe into another recipe means clone will be the duplicate recipe. It will be created as a duplicate, another recipe, the same thing. Delete means normal delete. Here we have the start recipe. Right now we did a test recipe. Test recipe means only one time execution. Okay. Next start recipe means when I click the start recipe, it is nothing but going to the live. Start is nothing but going to the live. So it is the next job we have only one job, the test job, and next job has been executed. We are able to see the successful jobs count and the failed jobs over here. Okay. So it will be checking again in the next 5 minutes. Uh, right now when I start the execution, when I start the recipe, it has pick up another job because every 5 minutes it is triggering, right? One second, let me refresh. Yeah. So when I start the recipe, it has been picked up another trigger as well. So at 9:17 it has been triggered. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So the next trigger will be in next 5 minutes at 9, it is at 9:17, right? Next will be at 9:22. Okay. The next triggering, next job execution will be happens at 9:22. Each execution is known as job. So this is one job. We'll call it, the naming convention is each flow execution is known as job. What is a job means? Job is nothing but recipe execution is known as the flow, the recipe flow execution. The result of particular recipe is known as a job. Okay, the recipe execution is known as a job. Job contains step outputs. So if I open this particular job, I can able to get the information of every step output. Okay, every step output what we have configured. And also if it was successful, it will show in the green color. If it is failed means it will show in the red color. We can able to get the job ID. Okay. For a tracking purpose, if you want to open a particular, if you want to access a particular execution, particular job, job is nothing but recipe execution. Complete from start point to end point is known as job. Okay. So, and what is the time duration for that particular execution? This complete from first step to third step, it has taken 98 milliseconds to complete. Okay, 98 milliseconds to complete. This is nothing but description of the recipe. Okay, you got it right. Jobs is nothing. Recipe means the complete the flow what you have built. Okay.
Rajesh, one question. For each
Yes.
job, can we go and see the not just status? Can we see the workflow, the like the recipe step by step?
Yes. Each step,
Let's say
each step
to
is
open one of the job which was already executed, we want to see how it does. Okay, if there is any error or anything, does it show
yes.
in green color, something like that?
Yes. We need to go and that is test cases. That is different. But in
Mm.
the that is at the starting testing case itself. But when it is executed in the flow, on the live fly, on the
Mm.
fly, we need to open that recipe and we need to check that. And if it is failed at third step means it will be highlighted with a red color. Okay,
Okay, only
and it
failed
will
steps we can go and see,
fail
or even
step will be
successful also.
all the this is if no we can able to see the complete flow from starting to ending in a
Oh,
job.
okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so if it is failed means it will be highlighted with the border
Highlighting
with
it.
red color, and when we open that particular step, we can able to see input, and in place of output there will be a
Oh,
error tab. In place of
got it.
output there will be error tab and the debug.
Okay.
Okay, debug
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
nothing
This
but
is awesome.
execution
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. This is
So
very awesome.
you can able to see this what is the input for particular step, output, and then debug. So if I see output input for this means the input only I have gave is 5 minutes because we have scheduled, it is a scheduler, right? Every five
Mhm.
minutes And what is the output means we got output as time, date, week, month, time. Okay,
Yeah. If there is
that
any
is
decision box, everything, so you can see the flow, how the based on the
yes
value, how
yes
it is going.
yes
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
This is super, sir. Yeah.
So we can go through this one by step. We can able to see the step output. Okay. So again, it will be executing in checking in 2 minutes means another job will be executed in next 2 minutes because we put the scheduler as for every 5 minutes. I mean, the flow will starts executing every 5 minutes. Nothing but a snoozing option in the alarm. Okay, the same thing. Okay, next versions. So here I have three versions. Okay, so how many times I saved the recipe means that many times it will be uh, checking, I mean it will be displayed over here. If any other person open this recipe and if they edit something, their name will be displayed over here under the modified by. Okay, who can able to find out the person who did changes on that particular flow as well, and we can able to make a add a comments as well. For an example, this is the final changes, I mean final working recipe, for an example. So if when we do some changes in another versions, if we want to restore back to this particular version, we can able to restore the particular version as well. Okay, when I open first version, it shows that nothing was there in the first version. Okay, I'm going to the second version again. In the second version, I'm able to see only two steps. So when I compare one version with another version, so I'm comparing with version 2 and version 3. So one version 2, I have only two steps in version 2. In version 3, I have three steps. That is what is the newly added step is third step. Okay, if I compare with a version v1, the whole recipe will be the new thing. Okay,
So
like
as
this.
soon as you save it, it will save it as a version every
Yes, I
time you
told
save.
that how many times if you click the save button when we did changes in the recipe, that many
Oh,
versions will be created.
oh,
When you click on
mm,
save button, every time every time that version will be created. When you click on save button, then version will be created. The I mean, only when the changes are happened in the recipe. We need to make this as a noted point. When there is a changes in the recipe, then when we click on save button, then only the version will be created. Unnecessarily, if you click on save button, it won't create a version unless it detects any changes in the flow. Okay. So and also, so if I open the second recipe, second version second version currently it is in third version. If I open second version, I can able to restore to this version as well. Okay, Why I am unable to see means because it is in the start mode. In the start mode, we cannot able to restore it to. So I'll
Can
show you
we
that as
can we put comments saying that whatever it is?
yeah, every time, everything. So currently another job has been executed currently. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can able to see this. So it was for every 5 minutes, it is triggering an event. Okay. So it is in an inactive mode. So it is not active. It is in inactive mode. When I stopped the recipe, before I start it and then I stopped the recipe. And if you're able to see, there is some one pipette symbol is there, some small tube symbol. And for these two jobs, there is no things. So this is known as if you see any symbol like this, it is known as test job. I mean, this job has been executed with the test mode. You can able to see when I put the cursor over here, it is showing the test job. And if you don't see any small logos or symbols over beside the time frame, then it is these jobs are executed by the start mode. I mean, when you start the recipe, we have executed these two, right? 917 and 922. This is known as these jobs are executed with the help of start mode. So in the interviews itself, they'll share the screen and they'll show that, will you please tell me which jobs are executed in the test mode and which jobs are executed in the start mode.
Hmm.
Okay, so we need to judge with the help of these symbols. And there is another mode of execution is known as a repeat job mode as well, but I'll let you know on tomorrow it is. Okay, I'll explain you that particular concept on tomorrow. That is one thing is test mode and the start mode as well. And another thing is
టెస్ట్ మోడ్
repeat mode.
ఆటోమేటిక్గా క్రియేట్ అవుతుందని.
అవునండి. మనం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేసిన ప్రతి ఒక టెస్ట్‌కి ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది మళ్ళీ నేను టెస్ట్ చేశాను అనుకోండి. ఇంకొక జాబ్ క్రియేట్ అవుతది ఇక్కడ పైన. సో 4 జాబ్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయినాయి. ఇది టెస్ట్ జాబ్.
ఓకే.
సో టెస్ట్ జాబ్ ఈజ్ అన్ వన్ టైమ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్. ఒక్కసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యి స్టాప్ అయిపోతది. అంతే. అదే స్టార్ట్ మోడ్ అయితే మనం షెడ్యూల్ చేసిన ప్రకారం అది ప్రతి ఈవెంట్ రికరింగ్ ఈవెంట్. నువ్వు 5 మినిట్స్ అయితే 10 మినిట్స్ అయితే ప్రతి 5 మినిట్స్‌కి ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతానే ఉంటది. అంటే ఒక జాబ్ క్రియేట్ అవుతానే ఉంటది. ఓకేనా? సో
సో ఎవ్రీ
దిస్
డే
ఈస్
5
దట్.
మినిట్స్, 5 మినిట్స్‌కి అంటే రాజేష్ గారు అప్పుడు ఈ చాలా జాబ్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి గదా!
అవును. ఖచ్చితంగా.
ఈ
ఖచ్చితంగా.
పేజ్‌లో.
నీకు 5 మినిట్స్ కంటేనే 1 మినిట్‌కే నీకు 10 టైమ్స్ అయిపోతుంది. 10 జాబ్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి 1 అవర్‌కి.
హ్మ్. ఓకే. సో
ఆహ్,
ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ లేటెస్ట్ వెర్షన్ ట్రిగ్గర్ అవుతూ ఉంటుందా?
ఆ! క మనం బై
Changes,
డిఫాల్ట్ అది కరెంట్
changes
లేటెస్ట్
made.
వెర్షనే తీసుకుంటది. మనం సేవ్ చేస్తే ప్రతిసారి ఒక వెర్షన్ క్రియేట్ అయినప్పుడు థాట్ విల్ బి టేకెన్ యాస్ లేటెస్ట్ వెర్షన్ ఇట్‌సెల్ఫ్ ఇంటూ కన్సిడరేషన్. అంటిల్ అన్లెస్ యూ సెలెక్ట్ ఎ పర్టిక్యులర్ వెర్షన్.
ఓకే.
మీరు
ఒకవేళ మనకి
ఇప్పుడు
ప్రీవియస్ వెర్షన్ రన్ అవ్వాలి అని అనుకుంటే మనం టిక్
మనం
చేసుకోవాలా అక్కడ?
రీస్టోర్ చేసుకోవాలి ఆ వెర్షన్‌ని.
ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ వెర్షన్ ఈస్ ఆన్ థర్డ్ వెర్షన్. అదే నాకు సెకండ్ వెర్షన్ కావాలి అనుకుంటే నేను దీనికి రీస్టోర్ చేసుకుంటే యెస్ యూ వాంట్ టు రీస్టోర్ టు వెర్షన్ 2 అంటే యెస్. ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ వెర్షన్ హాస్ 3 స్టెప్స్ కదా!
హ్మ్.
వెర్షన్ 2 హాస్ ఓన్లీ 2. సో నేను ఇప్పుడు దీనికి యెస్ కొట్టా. సో యెస్ అయింది. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను టెస్ట్ చేశాను అనుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫ్లో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతది. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే.
సో ఇప్పుడు టెస్ట్ అయింది. టెస్ట్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది. సో ఇప్పుడు వ్యూ కొడితే సో 2 స్టెప్సే ఉన్నాయి. అదే నేను ముందు జాబ్‌కెళ్తే ఇప్పుడు ఇది రీసెంట్ జాబ్. సో ఇంకా లోడ్ అవ్వలేదు. ఒక్క నిమిషము. యాహ్! సో ఇది లేటెస్ట్ జాబ్ 28కి. ఇప్పుడు 9:28కి రన్ అయినాయి. సో 26 రన్ అయిన దాంతో 3 స్టెప్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకంటే ఇది ప్రీవియస్ వెర్షన్. ఓకేనా?
హ్మ్.
సో
ఓకే.
మనం రీస్టోర్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత వెర్షన్‌కి ఇది. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ థట్ మన డెవలప్‌మెంట్ అందుకే మన కామెంట్ సెక్షన్ ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనం ఒకటి ఏదైనా పర్టిక్యులర్ ఫ్లో రన్ అవుతుందంటే వి కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు మేక్ ఇట్ యాస్ ఎ కమెంట్ యాస్ వెల్. సో ఇది ఫైనల్ వర్కింగ్. ఇది వర్క్ అవ్వలేదంటే అగైన్ వి కెన్ కమ్ టు ఓవర్ హియర్ అండ్ వి కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు రీస్టోర్ దిస్ వెర్షన్. ఓకేనా? So we
ఓకే.
can do that as well. Test cases will be seeing at last and settings. Settings లో ఏముంటాయంటే జనరల్ థింగ్స్ అండ్ షేరింగ్ ఆప్షన్. సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు షేర్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ రెసిపీ విత్ అదర్ పీపుల్, ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇది, ఇప్పుడు అదే ఒక్కటే ఆఫీస్లో అందరు ఉంటే కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు యాక్సెస్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఈ రెసిపీ మీకు షేర్ చేయాలి అంటే ఆ మీరు యాక్సెస్ చేయాలంటే వన్ ఇస్ ద వే ఈజ్ ఓన్లీ గెటింగ్ మై క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ అండ్ లాగిన్ ఇన్ టు ఇట్. బట్ అదర్ థింగ్ ఈస్ వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు షేర్ ఏ పబ్లిక్ యూఆర్ఎల్. సో ఈ లింక్ మీకు కాపీ చేస్తే వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు యాక్సెస్ దిస్ రెసిపీ ఆర్ యూ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు యూస్ దిస్ రెసిపీ ఇన్ యువర్ వర్క్ స్పేస్. ఓకే, మీరు దీన్ని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అనే విధంగా. టర్మినాలజీ డౌన్లోడ్ అంటే అక్కడ డౌన్లోడ్గా డైరెక్ట్లీ యూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకేనా, ఇది షేరింగ్ అనేది హెల్ప్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఓకేనా, సో
ఇది ఎలా
దిస్
షేర్
ఈజ్,
చేస్తాం? ఇప్పుడు కాపీ చేశారు. ఎలా షేర్ చేస్తారు?
నేను టీమ్స్ లో ఓపెన్ చేస్తే అది టీమ్స్ లో జస్ట్ ఇక్కడ
ఓకే.
పేస్ట్ చేస్తే టీమ్స్ లింక్
ఓకే.
షేర్ అయిపోతుంది అంతే. నథింగ్ బట్ సింపుల్ థింగ్,
ఓకే.
సింపుల్ షేరింగ్ అంతే. ఓకేనా, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ద షెడ్యూలర్ ట్రిగరింగ్ ఎవ్రీ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద టైమ్ ఫ్రేమ్. ఓకేనా, సో జాబ్ అంటే నథింగ్ బట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఫ్లో, ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ ద రెసిపీని జాబ్ అంటాము. ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుంది. టెస్ట్ మోడ్ అంటే ఓన్లీ వన్ టైం ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్, ఒకసారి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిపోయి మళ్ళీ స్టాప్ అయిపోతుంది. దెర్ ఈస్ నో ఎనీ రికరింగ్ ఆర్ కంటిన్యూస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఇన్ ద టెస్ట్ మోడ్. కంటిన్యూస్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద టైమ్ ఇంటర్వెల్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ ఇన్ ద స్టార్ట్ జాబ్. అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ రిపీట్ జాబ్ అంటే ఐ లెట్ యు నో ఆన్ టుమారో అబౌట్ దట్. ఓకేనా, సో ఎందుకు టుమారో అంటే ఐ టెల్ యూ ద రీజన్ ఆన్ టుమారో ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. There is in the jobs we have three types: test mode job, test job, start job, I mean start recipe in the live, and the repeat job. Okay, this is for the day that we have discussed about the scheduler. What is the scheduler, how it has, what are the modes I can able to configure in the time unit, about these things. Okay, how it can be set, all other things. ఓకే, సో ఇందాక చెప్పాను కదా, స్టార్ట్ ఆఫ్టర్ అనేది డిసేబుల్ అయిపోతుంది. వన్స్ యూ సేవ్ అండ్ టెస్ట్ ద రెసిపీ ఇట్ విల్ బి డిసేబుల్డ్ ఆటోమేటికల్లీ. ఓకేనా, సో అండ్ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, ఇన్ ద రియల్ టైమ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ వీ వోంట్ యూస్ 5 minutes 10 minutes. Okay, we'll be using the custom schedule. I'll be explaining this custom schedule on tomorrow. We'll see this custom scheduler concept on tomorrow, because in live because something else we need to execute on only Monday, from Monday to Friday or Monday and Wednesday. Some flows, scheduled flows are based on some requirements we need to schedule on those things. So in the real time we are not using this 5 minutes 10 minutes hours, maybe executing every day once. If it was continuously from Sunday to Saturday means we can go with daily execution. But you have any specific time date specifics, for example Monday and only Wednesday, or every month first and fifth, like this. Okay, that will be the things. So tomorrow things is we can discuss about the repeat job concept, what is simple thing, and next thing is about custom scheduler, and then we'll be seeing about the conditions on tomorrow. What is the trigger condition and what is the action conditions, we'll be seeing on tomorrow. These three things, if you have the time then we are going to that the next concept. Okay, hope you got some clarity about today, the scheduler, recipe, flow, how we can able to create, what is the output things which it has. Okay,
ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఉందండి.
yeah please.
ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి జాబ్ రన్ అయినప్పుడు లాగ్స్ ఇవన్నీ కనిపిస్తున్నాయి కదా.
అవును,
సో విచ్ ఇస్ స్టేట్ఫుల్, అంతే కదా. అదే మనం
స్టేట్ఫుల్
సేమ్
అంటే
స్టేట్ఫుల్ అంటే అదే ఎండ్ టు ఎండ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ లాగింగ్ అంతా కనిపిస్తుంది కదా.
ఓకే, ఇది ఫ్లో అవుట్పుట్ ఫ్లో జాబ్ లో
యా, అవుట్పుట్ జాబ్.
జాబ్ లో చూపిస్తుంది.
అలాగే స్టేట్లెస్ చేయగలమా? అంటే స్టేట్లెస్ అంటే ఇంకా లాగింగ్ ఏం కనిపించదు మనకి, జస్ట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయిపోయి ఎండ్ అయిపోతుంది.
అంటే మీకు ఈ అవుట్పుట్ ఏం కనిపించకుండా చేయాలి అని
కనిపించుకుంటా.
చేయొచ్చు. దాన్ని మాస్కింగ్ డేటా కాన్సెప్ట్ అంటారు. ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఇట్ దట్ as well. మాస్క్ డేటా అంటే నువ్వు ఇన్పుట్ చూడలేవు, అవుట్పుట్ చూడలేవు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక కొత్త మెంబర్ వచ్చారు, దానికి నేను మీకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరే టీంలో జాయిన్ అయ్యారు, మీకు యాక్సెస్ ఇచ్చాను, మీరు ఏమైనా చేంజెస్ చేయొచ్చు కదా. ఎడిట్ ఏం చేయకపోయినా ఏదైనా చేయొచ్చు. బట్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎవరైనా వచ్చినారంటే ఫ్లోస్ ఒక్కటి చూడాలి అంతే. వాళ్ళకి ఇన్పుట్ ఏముందో తెలియకూడదు, అవుట్పుట్ ఏముందో తెలియకూడదు. ఈవెన్ దే డోంట్ హ్యావ్ దే డోంట్ వాంట్ ఎడిట్ యాజ్ వెల్. ఓకే, ఆప్షన్స్ అన్ని కూడా చేయొచ్చండి. దట్ ఈస్ ఐ
Okay.
ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ రోల్ బేస్డ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ అని ఒక చెప్పాను, రోల్స్.
Right.
అలానే తర్వాత ఒకవేళ వాళ్ళకి ఎడిట్ ఆప్షన్ ఉన్నా కూడా ఒకవేళ వాళ్ళు ఇన్పుట్ డేటా అవుట్పుట్ డేటా చూడకూడదు అనుకుంటే వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు డూ ద మాస్క్, డేటా మాస్క్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే వాళ్ళు జస్ట్ ఈ స్టెప్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే మాస్క్ హ్యాస్ బిన్, అంటే ఈ డేటా చూడలేరు, ఇది చూడలేరు, ఏమి చూడలేరు, ఆ స్టెప్ యొక్క అవుట్పుట్ చూడలేరు, ఇన్పుట్ చూడలేరు, జస్ట్ ఆ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ అయిందని మాత్రం చూడగలరు. దట్ ఈస్ నోన్
Okay.
యాజ్ డేటా మాస్కింగ్. డేటా కానీ ఇక డేటా మాస్కింగ్ అని పేరు వాడము, స్టెప్ మాస్క్ అంటారు. అంటే ఆ స్టెప్ని కంప్లీట్ మాస్క్ చేసేసాము. స్టెప్ ఇన్పుట్ డేటా కనిపించదు, అవుట్పుట్ డేటా కనిపించదు.
Okay.
ఓకే, విల్ సీ దట్ ఆప్షన్ యాజ్ వెల్. ఓకే
Okay.
ఓకే ఓకే దెన్ విల్ connect on same time on tomorrow, and we'll discuss about those things, and if we get some time as well, we'll go some other things and we'll do that. Okay, ట్రై టు డూ సమ్ హ్యాండ్స్ అన్ యాజ్ వెల్. ఒక రెసిపీ క్రియేట్ చేయండి, ఒక ట్రిగ్గర్ ఫ్లో బిల్డ్ చేయండి, ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయండి, వర్షన్స్ని చూడండి, ఎట్లా నేను స్టెప్ ఎన్నిసార్లు సేవ్ చేస్తే ఎట్లా క్రియేట్ అవుతుందని. అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే ఎన్నిసార్లు సేవ్ చేస్తా అన్ని వర్షన్స్ క్రియేట్ అవ్వు అంటిల్ అన్లెస్ ఇట్ డిటెక్ట్స్ చేంజెస్ ఇన్ ద రెసిపీ. కీప్ ఇన్ మైండ్ దట్. సో ఇన్ని వర్షన్స్ క్రియేట్ అయినాయని నో వన్ విల్ క్వశ్చన్ అస్, బికాస్ అవర్ సేఫ్టీ కోసం మనం సేవ్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఒక స్టెప్ యాడ్ చేసుకోండి, సేవ్ చేసుకోండి, ఇంకో స్టెప్ యాడ్ చేసుకొని సేవ్ చేసుకోండి. కొందరు ఏమంటారంటే వై దిస్ మెనీ వర్షన్స్ హస్ బిన్ క్రియేటెడ్ ఫర్ అ సింపుల్ ఫ్లో అని అంటారు, రేస్ చేస్తారు క్వశ్చన్. ఇట్ ఈస్ అ కామన్ థింగ్, బట్ ఇట్స్ ఓకే, నో వన్ విల్ ఫెయిల్ బ్యాడ్ దట్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ స్టెప్ ఐ హ్యావ్ క్రియేటెడ్ ఏ వర్షన్. ఇట్ వోంట్ అంటే స్పేస్ ఇష్యూస్ అలాంటివి ఏమి వర్కాటోలో రావు. నో నీడ్ టు బాదర్ అబౌట్ దట్, ఐఎమ్ టెల్లింగ్ దిస్ పాయింట్, దట్స్ ఇట్. సో ఒక కంప్లీట్ ఫ్లో అయిపోయిన తర్వాత, ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత, హౌ యూ విల్ రిమెంబర్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ వర్కింగ్ వర్షన్ మీన్స్ విల్ గో టు దట్ పర్టికులర్ కరెంట్ వర్షన్ అండ్ విల్ యాడ్ ఎ కమెంట్. సో ఈ పర్టికులర్ డేటాకి ఇది కరెక్ట్ వర్క్ అవుతుంది అని. నెక్స్ట్ ఇఫ్ యూ డూ ఎనీ ఫర్దర్ చేంజెస్ ఇన్ ద ఫ్యూచర్, అరే అప్పుడు అది వర్క్ అయింది కదా, ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఎందుకు వర్క్ ఎక్కడ అంటే మళ్ళీ నేను రీస్టోర్ అవ్వాలి నాకు అది అన్నప్పుడు we can go to that particular version and we'll restore it back. Okay, na?
Yesterday we discussed about file storage, right?
Yes.
In that file storage, would you, if you have a time today, we'll discuss, or else if you have running out of time, we'll discuss it tomorrow.
About file storage?
Yeah, about file storage, I have a question on that.
What is that?
If you want to take the path, how can we take the path? I tested it, but the file it's showing me an error like a file is not found. Okay, so that is my question. If you have a time, we'll discuss, or else
Okay, you
we'll
can share
discuss
the
it by
screen.
tomorrow.
You can share the screen and show me once. Just 1 or 2 minutes. I mean, yesterday that I shown only, that is for only a use case. When I'm explaining the file storage concept, I'll be deep diving into the whole things. Okay, నేను వర్కాటోలో ఎలా ఉంటుంది ఒక యూస్ కేసు, ఎంత సింపుల్గా ఒక ఫైల్ని మెయిల్కి సెండ్ చేయొచ్చు. కొందరు ఒక్కొక్కరు ఒక్కొక్క ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ టూల్ మీద వర్క్ చేసి వచ్చి ఉంటారు. సో ఐ వాంట్ టు షో దట్ వర్కాటో క్యాపబిలిటీ అని చూపించాను. ఓకే, పర్లేదు, ఒకసారి చూపించండి ఫాస్ట్గా స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేయండి. విత్ ఇన్ 1 or 2 minutes విల్ డూ దట్.
If we want to
ఓకే, మీ దగ్గర ఫైల్ పాత్ ఉంటే అది ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ నుంచి రాదు. ఎందుకు రాదంటే ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ మీరు షెడ్యూలర్ తీసుకున్నారు కదా, సో మీరు ఫైల్ చూస్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఫైల్ చూస్ చేసుకోండి, సెకండ్ స్టెప్ ఓపెన్ చేయండి. సెకండ్ స్టెప్, సెలెక్ట్ ద ఆప్షన్ as చూస్ ఫైల్. ఎస్,
file
చూస్.
okay.
ఓకే, ఇప్పుడే అక్కడ కింద రూట్ డైరెక్టరీ మీద క్లిక్ చేయండి. అక్కడ ఆరో ఎప్పుడు మీ ఫైల్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోండి. ఏ ఫైల్ మీది?
Not like that. I want to take it as a path. From path, I need to take it, not by the
ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్
root.
గెట్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎనీథింగ్ వీ కెన్ ఏబుల్ టు డూ. మీరు పాత్ కావాలంటే మీరు ఫైల్ స్టోరేజ్కి వెళ్ళి అక్కడి నుంచి పాత్ కాపీ చేసుకోవాలి. ఇంకొక ట్యాబ్లో ఓపెన్ చేయండి, రెసిపీ లానే పెట్టి.
ఇక్కడ ఫైల్ స్టోరేజ్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా.
టూల్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళాలి. ఇక్కడ ఫైల్ స్టోరేజ్ లో అది ఓపెన్ చేయండి. మీ ఫైల్ ఏది?
ఫైల్ ఈ ఫైల్
ఇక్కడ పైన లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ టాప్ లో టైప్ సైజు పాత్ అని ఉంది కదా,
రైట్ సైడ్ లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్
రైట్ సైడ్ ఇక్కడ టైప్ సైజు పాత్ కనిపిస్తుంది కదా, ఇక్కడ కాపీ చేసుకుంటే డైరెక్టరీ పాత్ వస్తుంది. దాని తర్వాత స్లాష్ మీరు శాంపిల్ _CSV_ ఫైల్ డాట్ CSV అని ఇస్తే ఆ ఫైల్ రీడ్ అవుతుంది. ఒకవేళ ఇలా కాదు నాకన్నా కూడా మీరు అదే గెట్ ఫైల్ రీడ్ ఫైల్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, యాక్షన్ అదైనా చేసినా వస్తుంది. ఎడిట్
ఇప్పుడు
మోడ్లోకి
ఇక్కడ
వెళ్ళాలి.
ఇక్కడ
ఎడిట్ మోడ్లోకి వెళ్ళాలి. ఎడిట్. ఓకే, సో ఎంటర్ ఫైల్, సేవ్, కంట్రోల్ V.
It is not copy. Give me a second. Yeah.
కంట్రోల్ V క్లిక్ చేస్తే ఏం రాలేదా?
ఫ్లాష్ వస్తుంది అంతే.
ఆ స్లాష్ ఎందుకంటే అది రూట్ డైరెక్టరీ కాబట్టి మీకు సబ్ ఫోల్డర్స్ ఏం లేదు. స్లాష్ ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఇవ్వండి, sample_CSV_ ఫైల్ డాట్ CSV.
sample_.
.csv. Extensions will be very important in WorkAto. సో ఇప్పుడు టెస్ట్
Is
చేయండి.
it okay?
ఇప్పుడు టెస్ట్ చేయండి, సేవ్ చేసి. టెస్ట్ చేయండి. మీరు టెస్ట్ చేయలేదు ఇంకా.
టెస్ట్ చేశాను. టెస్ట్ జాబ్ రెస్యూమ్.
ఇప్పుడు మెయిల్కి వెళ్ళండి. ఒకసారి ఫస్ట్ సెకండ్ స్టెప్ క్లిక్ చేయండి. ఇప్పుడు డేటా వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు మెయిల్కి వెళ్ళింటారు మీకు. ఓకే దెన్. Thank you. We'll meet you on tomorrow at same time. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.